Welcome back to the podcast. My talk on life, binge, brand, and business with Story Shen. Sometimes I wonder, who writes history? The winners or the ones who survived long enough to tell the story? And what if, just for a moment, you were dropped inside history itself? Would you follow it, or would you rewrite it? Today, I want to take you somewhere unusual. Not a battlefield, not a dorm room, but to a dining table. A tyrant's dining table. Because today's story begins with a bowl of Korean bibimbap. Today, I'm talking about a 2025 K-drama, Bon Appétit, Your Majesty. This isn't just another time travel drama. This is a conflict about power, taste, and who gets to define the narrative. A story about palace politics, told through food. Let me tell you how it begins. Paris. Bright lights. Stainless steel counters. A young chef stands under the spotlight. Applause fills the room. The chef is Yen Ji-young, played by a South Korean superstar, Lim Yuna. She has made it. Global recognition. Culinary prestige. The world finally sees her. Then, she opens an old cookbook. An eclipse darkens the sky. And in one breath, the lights disappear. The applause vanishes. She opens her eyes, and she is kneeling on the cold stone floor of the Chosun Palace. No modern kitchen, no modern tools. Only a king staring at her coldly. If it were you, what would your first sentence be? She says, I can cook. The King Li Shan of the Chosun dynasty of Korean history, remembered as a tyrant, played by a South Korean actor, Lee Chai-min. The first dish is served. The palace holds its breath. The king speaks. If it tastes bad, you die. Emotionless, just policy. Her hands tremble as she presents the bowl. He tastes it and pauses. That pause is the first fracture in absolute power. Because something shifts. A curiosity comes over him. And that is more dangerous. That's when the real story begins. Inside the palace, Ji-young begins to understand something. Cooking here is an art. It's allocation. Who gets premium ingredients? Who controls the supply chain? Who decides what enters the royal body? Food is a nourishment. It's governance. The kitchen is not a service department. It is the inner circle of power. And slowly, she realized if she wants to survive, she must understand the system, not just the recipe. Then comes the turning point, a culinary duel. Fo Tiao Qiang, a luxurious surf and turf imperial feast. presented by the Ming Dynasty Royal Chef Ambassador Team, versus Samgyetang Ginseng Chicken Soup, presented by the Chaoshan Dynasty Royal Chef Team. On one side, a luxurious royal feast, sea cucumber, venison tender, truffle, and lion's mane mushroom. A table screaming wealth. A statement, I control the land and sea. On the other side, a single bowl of Samgyetang ginseng chicken soup. Clear, quiet, and minimal. One stacks rare ingredients as a declaration of control. I remember watching this scene and thinking, there's no way this wins. But when the king drinks it, he closes his eyes, and for the first time, he's not evaluating. He is feeling. And I suddenly understood, this isn't about food. This is about leadership. Two cuisines, two governing philosophies. One rules through abundance. One transforms through understanding. And here's where the story gets bigger. Because this isn't only about a chosen palace. It's about a global pattern. Across global history, food has always symbolized wealth and authority. During the age of exploration, spices like cloves were worth more than gold. Whoever controlled the spice routes controlled wealth and influence. In European royal courts, dining was political theater. Tables were stages. Even agricultural techniques developed by ordinary people were later absorbed into elite palace cuisine. Power doesn't just consume food, it absorbs innovation. And then there's lion's mane mushroom. Once a rare mountain delicacy, then evaluated to palace symbolism. Now repositioned as a global wellness product associated with cognitive health. Same ingredient, different era, different meaning. Here's the most powerful part of the drama. It doesn't try to redeem a tyrant. It asks, what if history is selective memory? If someone grows up in political paranoia and factional violence, is cruelty personality or survival? Every time she serves a dish, she isn't softening him. She is introducing another possibility. Not overthrowing power, but humanizing. And that is revolutionary. Now, let's bring this out of the palace. Lion's mane once appeared on royal tables. Rare, exclusive, symbolic of power. Today, it appears under a white canopy at the Umpqua Valley Farmers Market in Roseburg, Oregon. One of those tents belongs to a friend of mine, Cassandra, Eric, and their family. owners of Umpqua Valley Mushrooms. Same mushroom, different power structure. Instead of signaling status, it now supports cognition through activated lion's mane capsules made from 100% fruiting bodies. Instead of palate exclusivity, it becomes creative expression, like flavors of the forest, Biffle Breath, a bold blend of freeze-dried raw garlic and lion's mane dust. And instead of hierarchy, they also sell 5-pound mushroom grow kits. You don't just purchase it, you grow it yourself. Value has moved from control to participation. Here's the shift. Lion's mane once symbolized control over rare resources, assets reserved for royalty. Today, it represents something entirely different: cognitive health, self-sufficiency, community resilience, and education. That's a complete repositioning of meaning. So, when I think back to that drama scene, a king choosing between indulgence and intention, I see something else now. I see a Saturday market booth. I see carefully labeled jars. I see families learning to cultivate their own nourishment. And I realize power no longer sits at the head of a long palace table. It stands beneath a white canopy at a local farmers market, quietly redefining value. Lion's mane isn't just an ingredient, it's a case study in value transformation. From neutral resource to elite symbol, and then now commercial function. Cultural heritage can transform into premium positioning, functional health innovation, and global storytelling IP. When we shift narrative positioning, we shift the market perception. That's branding evolution. The ingredient didn't change. The narrative did. And that's where Binge meets brand. When I finished the series, one image stayed with me: a lone palace table. At one end is power, at the other is possibility. History sits quietly in the middle, watching. Maybe tyrants unborn. Maybe power without understanding creates them. So, here's my question for you. When you sit at your own table of influence, in business, in leadership, in life, where you stack rare ingredients to prove dominance, or where you serve something that heals. Because a table is never just a place to eat, it's a mirror of civilization. Thank you for joining me on my Popcorn Life, Binge, Brand, and Business. I hope you enjoy this blend of personal story, K-drama fun, and a little business insight. Next time, we'll explore another show, another story, and another business opportunity waiting for you to discover. Until then, Keep your popcorn ready, and your business radar sharper than ever. This is Dory Shan with my popcorn life, where binge meets brain.